Right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is Catania Alvin speaking. By the way, the date is, and also the previous one, the 21st, Sunday the 21st of July. And here I'm carrying on with the situation that Jeffrey Epstein's being arrested and consequently more fully outed than he was before. And it looks as if he's not going to get away with it this time, which he did before in Miami, and also, I think, Britain as well, is because what is so important to realize is that often the perpetrators have also been the victims in early childhood. I don't know if this is the case, but certainly he was compromised by somebody, and certainly it seems that he worked for the CIA and also for Mossad, from what I gather. Let's just listen to this, but also listen to the language of people.
So tonight, it is incredible how quickly Jeffrey Epstein's luck has changed in his...
How quickly Jeffrey Epstein's luck has changed. I think she said it's amazing. Is it really amazing? Is it really amazing? I mean, I think these are just ways of speaking that people don't really realize. At long last, his time of doing these horrendous things to children into their teens, early teens, has come to light.
Life after getting a very light sentence for underage prostitution, he is now looking at a very long time behind bars potentially, after he offered $100 million package to be able to go back to his nice home in New York City and be under constant surveillance. The judge said, no way.
$100 million. The mere fact he's so used to buying his way out of trouble, and thank God the judge said no way. That's when Jeffrey Epstein came up against a hard brick wall.
Now, court documents reveal that one of his accusers has a very compelling argument about her sexual slavery, and it does not look so good right now for the royal family. Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, has caused headaches for the royal family for years, but not at this level. In 2015, Virginia Roberts accused Epstein of forcing her to have sex with Prince Andrew when she was 17 years old. Buckingham Palace has denied the whole thing, but with more documents coming out, this could turn into a royal mess. Here now, New York Post award-winning investigative journalist Maureen Callahan, also author of American Predator. Good to have you here, Maureen. So you say that he's the Queen's favorite son and that he is no stranger to embarrassing this family. Elaborate on that for me.
He has a long history of associating with various strong men and oligarchs for personal profit. And he has had this association with Jeffrey Epstein, perhaps his most troublesome, for many, many, many years. Even Epstein's conviction, as you noted, on this very light charge of underage prostitution, which that phraseology is weird, it should be child rape and trafficking. But even after he was released...
Now, she's using the right terminology. As she said, should be child rape and trafficking. Let's use the right terminology.
From a very light 13-month sentence in Palm Beach County Jail, he comes back to his beautiful Upper East Side townhouse, and he is feted along with Prince Andrew. They spend 4 days celebrating together. They take a very chummy walk through Central Park, and meanwhile Epstein gets on the phone to try to settle some debts that have been caused by Andrew's equally troublesome ex-wife, the Greek.
Also, if you just caught his smile, his one-sided smile, as if to say, I've done it again, you know, he doesn't, he's gained, we've got Saturn in the mix at the moment, and in the heavens, and Saturn is the teacher. We've also got Chiron going retrograde, And so Karen is known as the wounded healer, or Karen is known as the sacred healer, according to Tani Gabrielli.
Sarah first.
Yeah, I mean, when you read these documents, some of which have come out, and others we all hope at some point will come out, so we can learn some of the details here. But that's the way his accusers say he worked. Like he would bring them in, force these girls to have sex with people like this, and then have them tell him, Epstein, all about it. And he said, so I have something on them. So all these powerful people, so I'll have something on them. That's the way he works.
It's an interesting point, because you would think at this point, why would Andrew have continued to associate? And I find it so interesting. I wrote the column today because, this whole summer...
It's interesting when you look at that face. That's the look of when somebody's thinking, how can I get out of this one?
We've been served up British royal family scandal that is about, infighting among the sisters-in-law, or, Harry and William having a falling out. Here's an actual British scandal involving the royal family. Prince Andrew was called on the carpet, actually, by the Buckingham Palace in 2011 after this all went down, and was told, you cannot associate with him anymore. And he threw a fit. By all accounts, he said, I'm loyal to Jeffrey. You're being a Puritan. Being loyal to friends is a virtue. It's what I'm going to do. And it's this hard-headedness that I think could ultimately be his undoing.
Yeah, I loved Epstein when he was off and in New York after he served that time. He was telling reporters, I'm an offender, not a predator. That's like the difference between being a murderer and someone who steals a bagel. That's how he sees all of this.
He was stupid enough to say that, and he was stupid enough to talk to the New York Post. I mean, come on. What is he thinking?
Maureen, thank you very much. Maureen Callahan. Great.
I'm sure he's thinking. Remember, Maureen Callahan wrote that book. I'm sure he's thinking that he can't even, I'm sure he can't even really contemplate that this is his time up. Yeah, I think, we'll see. I don't know. I can only have my suspicions. Okay, this is Katania Alvin reporting on a shocking situation, because what is so shocking? Jeffrey Epstein is a high society individual, but how many children from babies up are being sexually abused, tortured and murdered for the pleasure of other people. Something is very sick in our society, and we have to face it, look inside ourselves and wonder, why haven't I done more about it? I think it's up to all of us. Do go into the description box. The information will be there, and I will also put my new website called Transform Your Life from Stress to Joy, Health and Abundance. And that is a process of how you clear the negative thought forms and beliefs and feelings that you have. And it's a process. It's not just doing it once. It's doing it whenever these things come up. God bless. Katania Alvin saying bye-bye.